I would like to start by saying how much we respect and admire George and Ruth. The stand they have taken and continue to take is a strong reminder to all of us that this fight is not dictated by a yes or a no, and that true human spirit cannot be shut down by fear or disappointment. Whether you stand as one or you stand with many, if you have the conviction it takes to keep standing, then you are winning. And we whom believe that our rights are being violated, whether it be to breathe clean air or to drink clean water or to live on our land without fear that someday someone will take it from us, will keep standing. We stand for the future of a healthy planet. We stand for every tree that has fallen here on this land. And we stand for environmental justice. The justice that will give Mother Earth the fighting chance she needs to afford us all the life that some billion-dollar companies so callously take for granted. It is our God-given right and our personal responsibility as the stewards of the land to secure a healthy and safe environment for all. North Jersey pipeline walkers have a message for irresponsible agencies and greedy corporations that think going green means stopping at the local ATM. We are the voice of today. We are the motivators of tomorrow. And we are the founders of the future. You cannot shut down true human spirit.
Yay. In this,
The end is not yet, not over.
Good.
The lady said, Corps of Engineers has not granted Tennessee a permit to cross the Delaware. And read between the lines, Sam Reynolds told me 3 days ago, they told Tennessee they're proceeding at their own risk. So they could still say no. Delaware River Basin Commission, they also could stop this.
So less than 24 hours from when they got the approval, they started here. They could have started anywhere, but we think they started here to send a message to George and to everyone else to say, you can't fight us. It's a bullying tactic, and that's why we're here. We're here to show support for George.
We know that DEP, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, has permitted over 6,000 gas wells. 6,000. This is only the tip of the iceberg. We have a moratorium on drilling in the Delaware, but can you imagine the neighbors who are struggling with 6,000 permits in the Susquehanna Basin in the southwest corner of the state? So the important thing is we need to mobilize as we did before with the Don't Drill Day, right? Everybody came down to Trenton, we mobilized, we gathered, cities and country people got together, right? The last thing we want to do is we want to be unified. We want to connect, and we want to beat these pipelines. This destruction that you're seeing now is terrible, but we can stop it. TDP is coming in over the holiday weekend, as Jolie said, to start cutting as much as they can before we stop it. So what we need to do is get out our cell phones right now. I'm going to have you exercise your fingers a little bit, and I want to give you the number that you can plug in, the DRBC phone number. And I want you to give that number to everybody to call the DRBC. Now, leave a message. You got to leave it ring a long time, and write an email and share everything on Facebook so that this week they take action and they stand up. Delaware River Basin Commission. Again, remember, 5 commissioners get the votes. Army Corps is one of those commissioners. Their phone number is 609-883-9500. Okay, here's another important number. DRBC and Army Corps. The Army Corps is a key person. Jolie, Delaware Riverkeeper Network's been on the phone with Colonel Becking, so we want to call both. Army Corps number, ready? 215-656-6502. That's the Army Corps.
A couple of things I just really want to clarify about legally where the issues are and the significance of the phone calls that you're making to some of the local people, agencies involved. The Delaware River Basin Commission has already looked at the watershed issues and has decided that the impact on the watershed was not significant enough for them to try to stop what's going on here, to the extent that the River Basin Commission is again looking at these issues, it has to do with more of the overall pipeline and some of the parkland in Pennsylvania, as I understand. Now, that doesn't mean that if you get their interest, they wouldn't have a helpful comment about the impact, but some of these cooperating agencies are limited in what they can do at this point to try to stop this from happening. The Army Corps of Engineers is in a bit of a different position in that they have not issued their final decision on this particular piece of the pipeline. The Army Corps looks at wetlands, and the way that this drilling is going to cross the Delaware, it's going to have, I think it's drilling in 3 different pieces, George?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to, it's a much more complicated route across the Delaware compared to what they already have down the road across the parkland. And so if the Corps were to decide that the impact is too much, theoretically it could stop at least this particular leg of the pipeline. Now, the Corps is a bit limited in what they can do because they're really a cooperating agency. They're under FERC to some extent, but they do have the power to make independent decisions. But because FERC is really the lead agency, they're going to be perhaps a little less interested in taking the initiative than they might, but the decision has not been made, so that's all very good. So in terms of this particular leg, this extra 7 miles looping around the half-mile of federal easement across the national park where they already have their pipeline, that's something that could change if the Corps decides that the wetlands impacts are too much. So just so you understand, when you contact these people, those are the issues currently with the agencies. There are still 2 court actions going. One is a district court action simply to decide what kind of compensation Mr. Feighner would get from this taking. The other action is the appeal before the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. The D.C. Circuit could still decide that Riverkeeper was right and George Feighner was right, that this entire project was not correctly vetted, that the environmental impacts were not correctly evaluated, and that FERC has to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate everything they've done. The appeals court did deny our stay, which is why this happened, but they have not decided the appeal overall, and that's really where we are. So I want to thank you for really making this effort, and I want to thank you for making your voices heard, and hopefully eventually energy policy in the United States is going to be more pro-citizen, more pro-property owner, less pro-insider, and more fair to everybody that's concerned. So thank you.
Fred was talking about our politicians, how courageous they are.
Sure.
They take these lies that Tennessee puts out, and they just keep putting them out again and again and again. When David points out what the truth is, it's tragic what little hearing he gets, how little attention they pay to the truth, because they've made up their mind, and it's like they're all in bed together.